Max, Raptors gone, Bucks gone, Celtics Heat, Jimmy Butler. You've been talking about him on the radio everywhere. I hear you saying Butler's a cold killer. What do the Celtics have to do against the Heat to compete in this series?
Well, I think the Celtics have to play their game. And if they play their game, I think they'll be okay. The big factor to me is if Gordon Hayward comes back. You're talking about Bam Adebayo has barely been good rebounding the basketball. And the thing about this Miami team, I think it's almost a carbon copy of the Celtics. They're deep. When you think about bringing Kelly Olynyk as maybe the eighth man off the bench, it really shows you how deep they are. They have shooters. Celtics will have to defend the three ball. And probably bigger than that, the Celtics will probably have to contend with maybe an even better zone this time out there with Kemba out there. I think the only thing you look at with Miami doesn't have the shot blockers or the bigs that Toronto has. So you might be okay there. But Jimmy Butler is the key to what they do. He's physical. He has an attitude. He's arrogant. He's cocky.
He's your type of guy.
I love that about him because, you know, he has that I don't give a damn attitude. I don't need no friends, and I'm not taking any prisoners. I'd like to put him and Marcus Smart in a damn cage match. And
yeah,
see,
we can tell.
I would definitely like to do
for that. We can do odds on that one.
Two men go in, one man comes out.
I think Marcus would come out of that one.
Not sure.
I don't know. It says a lot for Jimmy. Well, Jimmy Butler, he seems to have found a home in Miami. And early on, you were saying, talking on the phone or whatever, basically you were like the Bucks or the Heat. You would have rather seen the Bucks, I think. Is that true?
No, not really. I think the Bucks present, whatever it is, they present a real problem for the Celtics. It also Bledsoe plays particularly well against the Celtics. And he didn't play well at all against Miami. Miami countered everything they did with Dragic and guys like that. So I think it's a better matchup. It's a better fit right now for the Celtics. But the coaching styles, man, that's going to be. This isn't checkers anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. This is going to be a great coaching matchup. Eric Spoelstra has done a great job. And he is right out of the same playbook Pat Riley is out of.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, the Pat Riley playbook. I think he's a little bit maybe when you look at Spoelstra and our last coach, Nick Nurse, that Brad had to go against, I think Spoelstra really matches Stevens' style much better, where Nurse kind of sucked the life out of the room a lot of times.
I think that Nick Nurse is a great coach. But I think that Brad Stevens' X's and O's were better than Nick Nurse's X's and O's at the end of the day. When the Celtics played their full complement game, they won that series. They won games handily. When Toronto made it muddy, that is when those games were close, and Toronto was able to win. Eric Spoelstra is a guy who is a thinker. He will have his guys revved up. He will try to get advantages. And who's going to guard who? Is Tatum going to be guarded by who's going to guard Tatum? Who's going to guard Brown? And I think that's one of the key components that you think about. And I see now that the Celtics might be able to play a guy like Cantor in the paint maybe in this series where he really didn't even hardly see the light of day against Toronto Raptors.
So you think more Cantor, less Williams?
I think so. I think the more physical aspect of somebody rebounding on the inside, because Bam is a handful. Yeah. And I think that Cantor might not be able to guard him completely, but Cantor will give him a hell of a run on the glass on his defensive end. And that would slow down anything that Miami would do when it came to trying to get on the break.
So overall, the Celtics probably have the advantage over the Miami Heat. Do you see Boston going to the NBA Finals?
I see slightly. I think they do. And again, it depends on if Gordon Hayward comes back. Gordon Hayward comes back and he's able to give me 20 minutes a game or give them 20 minutes a game, then, I feel really confident about it because he's going to be an ingredient. He's going to be a key point to what the Celtics have to do. He's going to give you another shooter out on the floor. And Oshale's done a pretty good job defensively.
Yeah.
I think we would rather see Oshale not shoot the jump shot.
Oh, yeah.
and on the other side, have Gordon Hayward shooting the jump shot from the three-point line, because Gordon Hayward is someplace around 50% from the field and almost 40% from the three-point line. So I think you get a better sense of scoring with him, and I think that would present more problems for Miami.
What could you expect from Gordon, or what's fair to expect from Gordon in a comeback in this series?
Well, I think that they're going to try to work slow, obviously, because, Gordon Hayward's injury. But when you come off an ankle injury, sometimes you baby it a little bit. I hope he's able to push it a little bit more. And I'm sure that the Celtics waited and waited. They could have used him against Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't able to give him anything. Toronto, okay, you've had now 4 more days of rest. And are you going to be able to use him in the first game, or can you get 4 more days of rest? So I think the Celtics are going to try to do their due diligence about using him. But I think if he comes back, I think he should be, I would expect, kind of the same Gordon Hayward. A guy can shoot the ball from the outside, run the floor, maybe not jumping as well, but, a lot of those other essentials.
Plus, you have to guard him. I mean, no matter what, struggling or not, Gordon Hayward has to be guarded, which spreads the court. And as far as Gordon goes, I think the big plus here is the playmaking abilities, because you have to guard him. So he could obviously find the open guy in the paint. And in all of this, you look at what's the high end of a Gordon Hayward injury. You never want to see anybody get injured, but it did give Grant Williams, Semi Ojeleye, a lot of these guys off the bench more run in the Toronto series, which I think helps the Celtics overall.
Well, it gives them another opportunity, other options to use if they don't have them. And the thing you cannot do, you cannot duplicate an NBA game in practice. You can practice as hard as you want to, but when you get in a regular game and a practice game, those are 2 different things. So, it probably will benefit them a little bit with some of those guys playing. But Gordon Hayward is a key to what you're doing, if you're going to go forward, if you're going to get by Miami.